beginnings, and a Tampa mom found herself on a fast track to becoming a successful entrepreneur. Here to share more about how it's never too late to reinvent yourself is entrepreneur Christina Delgado. Christina, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So after 16 years of changing diapers and being a mom, you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I want to do something different. So how did you have the courage to become an entrepreneur?
I just dove in, like eyes closed, feet first, and I said, you know what? I need to do something for me. I have 3 children, and I've been married for 17 years. And as the older my kids got, I realized, they don't need me as much. And I watched my husband climb the corporate ladder, and I was home folding laundry. And I'm like, you know what? This is good to have us as a family unit and everybody have their own thing, but I wanted something just for me. So I struggled immensely with facial hair, and I did laser hair removal, and I was like, you know what? I bet you other women need this service too. So that's how I got into laser hair removal.
That's really cool. So then how did you know and come up with the business savvy to grow the business so much?
I honestly had no idea what I was doing, and every day is like I learned something new every single day. So I think what really helped me was social media, and I just, put my embarrassment aside, and I said, you know what, I'm going to make a fool of myself, and I'm going to do the local trends, and I'm going to go to all the events, and I'm just going to put myself out there, and it's really worked.
I like that, and I think you're resonating with so many people out there, and women especially, and including myself, that sometimes I think we stick with what we know because it's comfortable, but if you want to grow and expand in life, you have to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Absolutely, and I think it's never too late to start something new. I'm 42 years old, and I started being a laser tech back in 2017, but I wasn't really pursuing it as a business because I was still very busy with my children. But as they've gotten older, they don't need me as much, so I was able to dedicate a little bit of time to growing a business instead, and I think it's been great.
And it doesn't have to be corporate America, because I've had a lot of moms, friends of mine, that took time off and they raised their family, and then when the kids got old enough, they wanted to go back to work, but they found it a little bit hard for that re-entry into corporate world because they didn't really have a resume. But you just created your own opportunity. I
did face that. I applied to multiple jobs, and I wanted to get back into the work field, but I still have to pick up my children from school. So what job is going to let me leave every day at 2:30, 3 o'clock? You know, so they don't make it easy for moms. So I said, you know what, I need flexibility, and I'm just going to do my own thing. So I'm able to adjust my hours. I'm by appointment only, so people come and see me as what works for them and what works for me as well.
And then talk to me about the importance of community when you're building a business.
So community, especially in Tampa Bay, has been so good to me. I attend a lot of events, and in return, people come to my events. So I'm a part of a lot of different networking groups, and we have fun, and we're out and about, and it's kind of like partying with a cause. So we're there for the greater good to support our businesses, but we're also just getting to know one another and learning about each other and just having a good time in Tampa.
I like that. I like that. And we've been talking throughout the show today that Tampa is a city that supports small businesses. Like, the city itself wants to see people like yourself thrive. So do you have any advice for women out there that might be wanting to take a step in the direction but are just too scared?
I would say just go for it. I have failed so many times. I've dabbled in other businesses, and this is the first business that I can honestly say has taken off on me, and I've had to fail. So don't be scared to fail and just do your best. No one's going to judge you. Now,
did you have to do a lot of upfront cost to do this? Like, did it take a small business loan?
Yes, absolutely. We were able to finance the device, and we got some other funding. And other than that, we just kind of had some savings, and we just poured it all in. And anything that we make with the business, we pour it back into the business, whether it's attending events or sponsoring other events. So that's been really helpful.
That is really fascinating. Well, listen, Christina, I cannot thank you enough for joining us on Bloom today. Your story has been absolutely fascinating, and I know you're going to give the courage to so many women that they need to just put themselves out there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Gail.
Okay. We're going to share Christina's story on Bloom Tampa Bay.